Okay, I'm going to be taking on Malenia, and I'm going to try to do it without getting hit one time. I'm going to do a hitless run of Malenia. I'm going to be abusing a couple of different mechanics in order to get this done effectively, and also I will be sharing some tips about how to fight this boss generally because I've done it so many times at this point. I think I have some insight to offer about how to fight this boss. So I kind of demonstrated on screen just now one of the mechanics I'm abusing, which is the fact that most enemies in the game do not, well, actually I'm unaware of a single enemy in the game that would react to freezing mist being cast in the same way that they would react to any other aggressive spell cast. So they, if you cast Comet or whatever, it triggers their aggression behavior where they'll either attempt to gap close, dodge, or do something else in reaction to your spell casting. Freezing Mist, they don't seem to do that. Their AI just doesn't seem to count that as like an aggressive spell cast, and they also don't avoid this cloud, so she's just gonna walk right into it. And she's so slow and non-reactive in phase 1 that she will actually just stand there until she gets frostbite, and she's weak to frostbite, so that's pretty nice. The other mechanic I'll be abusing is the fact that that same AI is not very good at dodging Star Shower. Her dodge pattern that she's doing in reaction to that spell makes sense if I were casting like Glintstone Shard or something like that, or Comet, but it doesn't make sense to dodge this attack because it has good tracking and it's more delayed, so that's going to hit her pretty much every time as long as there's not any extenuating circumstance. And yeah, so I'll be abusing those two things. Those are fairly universal, so you can use those against most human enemies that would have these kind of dodge patterns, or that are able to be frostbitten. You can use that against any of the enemies in the game, not just this boss. But also, one of the other things that I think it bears mentioning and is pretty important for fighting any enemy in this game, and I don't see it mentioned really at all, is the fact that you can dodge essentially every single attack in the game almost by simply running backward away from the enemy, as long as you have enough space to physically keep running. That seems to be an extremely reliable way of evading damage. Now, melee players, and I've done several melee runs, they will point out the fact that obviously it doesn't leave you in much of a place to be able to punish a boss after an action. But you know what? That's fine sometimes. If you want to play a very patient melee style, you could simply run backwards and evade most of the boss's attacks until you see the one attack that is very obviously punishable. Every boss has one of those, like the big wind up, the big explosion, this thing right here. Wait for that moment and then run in and take one attack, and then sorry, I had to concentrate on dodging that. Oh god, okay. And then that would be a valid playstyle for a melee build. So, you don't have to punish every move that the boss does. You don't have to be in perfect punish range to, like, punish every single thing that the boss does. And not everything is punishable, even things that are look like they are punishable. There are several bosses in the game that are tricky because they look like they have a punish window, but they will actually punish you. It's a false window. Almost got hit there. Yeah. Almost got hit there. But nope. I'm gonna do this hitless. It's basically just a lot of kiting, So basically, the tip that I'm trying to share with you inarticulately, because I'm doing the hardest boss in the game, Hitless, right now, is the fact that it's a universal mechanic that kiting is very strong. Kiting is strong and will help you avoid damage, and give you an opportunity to run away and heal, buff up, or what the fuck? She is being really weird right now. Come on, this is a damage window. I gotta use it. I gotta use it. So don't forget to kite, even if you're not a mage like me. You know, mages are not the ones that they don't have a monopoly on kiting. It's a strong mechanic versus most enemies in the game that are, you know, that will help you survive. Okay, we're getting down to the wire. I've almost done it. Just positioning, positioning, positioning. So this is another... I'm not really... I'm going to make another universal commentary, okay? I'm talking very little about what I'm actually doing on screen, but I'm just giving you general tips about how to play this game in the setting of me doing a hitless run of the hardest boss in the game. Using the dodge is actually the last resort, okay? You should never, if in an ideal scenario, you should never be relying on your dodge frames to dodge an attack. You have about a 13 frame dodge window, and that's okay. That's pretty good as far as the dodge window goes. We're gonna finish it up with a waterfall, and this is Malenia Hitless, everyone. That should be it. Haha, did it. Basically, don't just dodge everything, okay? Try to use positioning to either outrange the boss move or be outside of the range of the move generally. It should be viewed as a last resort to try to dodge through the enemy's sword, because you can always mess that up, get hit, and so many bosses and enemies in this game have combo attacks, and you're really setting yourself up to get killed. So try to use positioning to never be in the area where the boss's sword is ever, you know, going to strike, is a better tip. Anyway, thanks for watching, and that was a hitless Malenia run.